Hi, my name is Arthur D. Soto-Vásquez. I'm a professor at the Hank Grinspoon School of Journalism and Media Studies. I teach video games, streaming, and society, and you should take my course if you're interested in the deeper study of video games and culture. One of the reasons why we wanted to launch it is because we recognize that this type of course is something that might appeal to students. They play video games, but we wanted to also introduce them to think a little bit just more critically and closely about it. I approach this class a little differently. In this era of AI, I feel that students need to be prepared to digest information and then retell it in an interesting way. So a lot of the course is structured around presentations and teaching each other in the classroom environment. And so students read a chapter, present it to each other, and then we have a discussion, and then we'll play the game together sometimes. And then, think about it carefully and critically and have fun. So in terms of examples of what we cover in the class, we just covered Grand Theft Auto, and we look at how the avatars in the game function, right? They are editable. You can change their hair, you can change their clothes, but ultimately as characters, they stay the same. So we look at the concept of avatars in video games and how those differ from characters. We are a media studies program, and so characters are obviously very important in things like film and television, but avatars are quite different. So we use that to understand that concept. Of course, in addition to maybe going into the video game industry, I think this course also helps prepare students in terms of their public speaking skills, in terms of video production. Content production is a huge pathway, I think, right now for a lot of students. And if not, I think at the very least, they're able to read text and understand them. And I think that'll be a very, very important skill moving forward in our current media landscape. I think students will walk away from this class, and this is my goal, surprised to learn how much of their own lives they can treat like playing a video game. Meaning that, it is very much an open world gameplay out there. They can take on quests, they can, build up their stamina, right? They can treat it like an RPG, and they can just do things. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I hope that they can learn from this. And they don't just have to follow the scripts that are laid out in front of them. And if they can learn that from this class, I'm happy. Well, thanks for joining me, and hopefully the next time you play a video game, you think a little bit more deeply about it or how it could be interpreted in a fun and interesting way.